As the sun rises on a dewy morning in early September, it is hop picking time on the Celtic Marches hop farm. September is the traditional month for hop picking. However, in recent years, most farms start picking in the last week of August. Our hop yards, which follow the line of the river, are situated in the rich soil of the Froome Valley. We have traditional 18-foot high wirework, as used by our great-grandfather. The hops are grown in rows and picked using a tractor and a trailer with a long ladder at the back. This has a platform at the top called the crow's nest. Coconut yarn is strung from pegs on the ground to hooks on the top of the frame. Then the hops are trained up the string. The hop bines grow in clockwise, twisting up the yarn. The hop root will last 20 to 30 years. The long hop bines are chopped down using a scythe, and they drop down into the trailer below. Hop picking is labour intensive, and 4 people man each tractor and trailer per row. This viewpoint clearly shows the crow's nest on the back of the trailer and how the hop bines are grown in rows. It also gives you a full view of the network of wirework used to grow the hops. Once the trailer is full, they make their way to the hop picking machine close by. The hop picking machine runs from 7:30 in the morning to 5:30 in the evening, with a couple of breaks during the day. On arriving at the machine, the tractor driver unloads his bines. The bines are securely clamped onto an overhead conveyor system using a device called a box. A number of people work to separate the bines. Any small loose sprays of hops are manually scooped up and put into the conveyor belt feeding the spray pickers. The bines descend into a plucker and rise out stripped of hops and leaves. What remains is chopped by guillotine and moved off as waste. The loose hops go through various belts, rollers and a blower, which removes any petals and leaves. On the final conveyor belt, any last leaves are removed by hand and the hops bagged into sacks, green sacks as they are known, as they contain green hops. Picking hops by machine started in the 1950s. Originally, local people, as well as people from South Wales and Birmingham, came to pick hops for the month of September. Today we still have a few locals helping with the hop picking, but most of our staff are Eastern European. All hop picking machines are different, but most of the traditional machines in the UK were made by a local company, Brough Engineering from Suckley. Our machine, when installed in the 1950s, was a small one. It has been modified and enlarged by the family over the years to make it more economic and less labour intensive. The hops are then transported to the main farm by tractor and trailer for drying. This occurs 2 or 3 times a day. The sacks are then moved off the trailer by conveyor belt up into the kiln, which is a Herefordshire term. In Kent they are called oast houses. Having the kilns on the first floor allows the hop dryers to be placed underneath. These can then blow air up through the hops. The hops are tipped from the sacks onto the hop kiln floor and levelled to a certain depth. It is useful that Dave, our hop dryer, speaks fluent Polish. Once the kiln is full, cold air is blown through the hops for a couple of hours to remove any moisture. The dryers are ignited at the end of the day, and the hops are then dried at a temperature of about 100 degrees Fahrenheit through the night, and then turned up at about 6 AM to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Hop picking is a costly exercise. The burners which dry the hops are constantly fed with a jet of diesel. Later in the morning, the dryers are switched off and the hops cooled with cold air. The dried hops are then dragged off the kiln and put into the bagging room. We grow 4 varieties of hops: Progress, Target, Goldings and the traditional Fuggle hop. We have 3 electric hop pressing machines for bagging the hops into pockets. A hop pocket is made from rectangular cloth, either plastic or sackcloth. The 2 bottom corners are stuffed with hops and the corners tied to aid in moving them around. It is often said the smell of dried hops aids restful sleep, and I am sure the staff at the farm sleep well at the end of each day. There were at one time 800 to 900 growers of hops in the UK, but now there are probably only 30 to 40 that remain. Once pressed full with hops, the hop pocket is sewn up by hand. Filled hop pockets weigh approximately 75 kilograms. They are stored until collection. Hops are used for the flavouring of beer, and we supply some brewers direct with hops. For example, Holden's Brewery from Dudley, who we have supplied for 30 years. We have won many awards for our hops, both nationally and locally,